This is Coach Lee, and in this video, I'm going to share with you the 3 best tips to getting your ex back that I know of. Click the subscribe button below so that you can be notified when I have more videos like this, and that includes messages on attraction, mindfulness, breakups, relationships, and marriage. So I've been at this for 20 years now, and in that time, I picked up some tips that can help you get your ex back after a breakup. I share a lot of those in my other videos, and if you subscribe to my channel, you'll be notified when I have more like that. But the first one is probably not going to be much of a surprise to those of you who are regular viewers of my videos. But be sure to watch this video all the way through, take your time, don't get in a hurry, because hearing these things, even if a couple of them might be repeats, can help really encourage you and make you strong to do what you need to do to get your ex back. Repetition is powerful because it can ingrain determination inside of you, which is really what you need if you're trying to get your ex back, because your emotions will be pulled and you can be tricked into doing the wrong things. So listen carefully, be patient as I get into the first tip. Tip 1 to get your ex back: use the no contact rule. If you've just been dumped and just found this video, that might be the first time you've ever heard of it. And when you first hear it, it actually sounds counterintuitive, because what we're taught is that we need to communicate more. That's how you fix every relationship problem. You just talk more, which is completely ridiculous. Even with couples who are doing well, sometimes I will say, you two talk too much. You keep bringing up the issues. You keep wanting to get something off your chest. Take a break. Talk about things that are light or fun or pleasant. Take a break from the issues where you two are going to argue, where you disagree, where you're having trouble at the moment. They will be there. You can come back to them. But right now, you two need to heal. You need to have some positive experiences together, some positive time together. And so even couples who are in great relationships can use a form of no contact when it comes to some of these negatives that just keep coming up. It's okay to take a break from them every now and then. And in this situation, especially when this person's saying they don't want to be with you, they don't see a future with you, they're breaking up with you, it's clear that you two are not on the same page. And so discussing this is going to get you nowhere, because they didn't come to this conclusion overnight. This usually is something that happened weeks, months, sometimes even years, where they were thinking it, they would talk themselves out of it. They would feel like they wanted to do it, and they would come back in their heads, take it back a few steps and say, I'm going to keep trying. Finally, they reached a point where they felt like they had exhausted their efforts and they wanted to break up. So you two are coming from completely different angles on this, because this is still new to you. The hurt is still new. Your ex has been dealing with the potential loss of this relationship for longer than you. And so you're going to come across as emotional and desperate, and they are going to be thinking, no, I've already thought about these things. I've considered them. I've changed my mind and then realized this is what I want to do. And so you're not going to get anywhere right now trying to talk this through. Now, if there is a specific reason for the breakup, for example, something you did specifically, then you actually could get somewhere talking. But for most of you watching this, it's going to be that your ex said, we're just growing apart, or I see a different future, or I don't feel the same way that I used to. They might say, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. And I have a video on that I will link to in the description below that you can watch. And so the best thing to do is to back off. Not only will that keep from highlighting the differences, the different places that you two are at the moment, which you don't want your ex really to at least have to see that with an exclamation point behind it, because it can make them not want to interact with you in the future if they think that you two are going to be coming at this from two different perspectives, and if they think that you don't understand and get where they are. And that's very important. Even if it hurts, let them know by backing away that you understand and respect their decision. That will open the door later where they feel like they're comfortable coming to you if they have doubts, because they don't feel like you're going to try to emotionally blackmail them into coming back to you. That is, you're going to cry, beg, plead, and become emotional unless you get the answer you want. That's something where they're going to feel very uncomfortable. They're going to feel anxiety about being around you. So even if you've done that, you can still show them that you can back off. You can give them what they think they want, at least give them time to see if this is what they really want. Because as I've said in other videos, the breakup is conceptual for them right now. It's only something that they think that they want. let them experience it and see if they really want it. And if you use the no contact rule, then they get to experience those lonely nights without you, where a text comes in on their phone and it's not from you. It might be from somebody else, a friend, who knows, but it's not going to be from you. Which, if they think that it probably is, if they think, here they are, they're going to try to talk me into coming back, and then they realize it's not you. Even though at the moment they're not wanting it to be you, they can still be disappointed because your brain likes to be in control. Your brain likes to know what's coming next. And when you think something is going to happen and it does not, your brain is frustrated. And so it can create some disappointment that it's not you, which will lead into stages of curiosity, wondering what's going on with you, which can get you as the forefront on their mind, where they're preoccupied even, wondering what you're doing, what you're thinking. And I talk about this in a video called Stages Your Ex Goes Through During No Contact. And I'll link to that in the description below as well. Really recommend you watch that video. It's powerful to know what's going on in the mind of your ex while you two are broken up and while you're using the no contact rule. People are often amazed at how powerful it can be, because if this person loves you deep down and they just are confused at the moment, if you two had a great relationship and you know that, and you know that you're a great catch, that you're a great partner, then bet on that. Back off. That is, take it away from them. Don't let them keep experiencing your company, your presence. Take it away, because that's what they've said they've wanted. Break up with them right back and let them have it. That is how you bet on yourself and on the relationship, that you believe in it so much that you believe that when they experience being without it, they will want it back because it was that good. If you believe that, do it. Put your money where your mouth is. I have other videos on the no contact rule. Check my channel for those, and I will link to another video in the description below. But it is amazing how the no contact rule can re-attract this person into your life. Tip number 2 to get your ex back. Start from scratch in your mind. Now, what I mean by that is, ask yourself, do you really want this person back? Now, stay with me on this, because the answer very well may be yes. But the fact that this person wants to break up with you at least should give you pause and make you wonder about the situation. Now, if you honestly do this, you take inventory of what you feel for this person, not just the loss. Right now you feel loss and rejection, and you want to undo those things. You want to feel like you have control again. And that desire can masquerade itself as love. So try to separate that from love. It will be difficult, but you have time. You see, the no contact rule takes away some of that sense of urgency, because you've decided you are backing off. You are not going to try to intervene in this and force something to happen. You are trusting that you two had a good thing, and you're going to let them see that for themselves. So you have time to really contemplate this. Is it the loss, the rejection, and the realization that you don't have control what is making you hurt? What is preoccupying your mind? Or is it because you really love them? Now, you may be thinking, of course it's because I really love them. It very well may be. Oftentimes it is. But you have time, and you should consider these things, because it will actually make you more attractive. When you become picky, when you are checking to see if this person is what you want, it puts you in a more attractive state. And if your ex was to contact you, which often happens when someone's using the no contact rule, it works so fast sometimes, not every time, but sometimes it works much faster than people think, and they're blindsided. They don't know what to say when this person reaches out. I do talk about that some in my emergency breakup kit, which I will link to in the description below. The emergency breakup kit is the culmination of my 20 years in the relationship coaching service, and is a guide to get your ex back after they've dumped you. But a lot of times your ex will reach out during no contact, because it works. It's strong. It's so much more powerful than most people realize. And if you are doing this personal inventory, deciding if you really do want them back, separating the loss and the loss of control and the rejection from actual feelings of love, you're doing that work. When they reach out to you, you will be much less likely to do the wrong things, like have an emotional response or get too aggressive, trying to lock them back down as your boyfriend or girlfriend, because you're still trying to figure out if that's what you want or not. Which, interestingly enough, if you go back to one of the earlier things that I mentioned, you two are on polar opposites when they break up with you. You want the relationship. You are stunned, you are hurt. they have already been thinking about it. They already have a pretty good idea of what they think they want, even though, like I said, it's a concept and they have to really experience it to know for sure. But if you are actually trying to figure out if you truly do want to be with them, or if it's the loss and rejection and those things, then actually you bring yourself closer to the position that they are in. You actually can relate to them more, and they can sense this. They can feel that all of a sudden you seem to be on a similar side of the table. You two are having some of the same internal conversations, and the table can actually flip to where they are more sure they want to be with you than you are sure that you want to be with them. Because all it takes is a small crack in the armor to where they have doubt, they realize you two had a good thing, and they want you back. Or at least they think they do. That's all it takes. If they think that they might want you back, and they come to you, and now you two are both wondering the same thing, they can actually be in more of a position to try to pursue you. It's funny how that can work. It gets pretty complex, and that's not what this video is about. Do watch my stages your ex goes through a no contact video, which is linked to in the description below, and I'll get more into that. But when you take emotional inventory and try to decide if you really want this person back, you can make yourself more attractive. You can actually do good work on yourself to get to know yourself better. And if you two do get back together, you will find that it's been very valuable to do this, because you know for sure, one way or the other, which if you two get back together, obviously it's what you want. But trying to determine what you want will hold you back from doing a lot of the wrong things and will help you do the right things to make you more attractive. In addition to occupying your mind some in a productive way instead of just wallowing in the pain, which is easy to do. And I'm sorry that you're hurting. The third tip that can really help you get your ex back is to surround yourself by friends and family members that maybe you haven't seen recently. Sometimes when you're in a relationship with someone, you can tend to focus only on them, which that's fine to do, especially when it's in that intense early stage of the relationship. But being able to surround yourself by people who love you, who won't break up with you, can at least take the edge off of some of the feelings of loneliness. And they can be a great ear for your frustration and your hurt. However, be very careful. Don't overdo this. Your good friends, yes, tell them what's going on and that you're hurting and that it's difficult. But also remember that if you bring them down and drag them down, they will start avoiding you. That's very important. So be careful with how much and how often you do that. But doing it some, that's a good friend's role, to be a good listener and to offer a shoulder to cry on. However, be careful of the advice you take from them, because oftentimes they have very little experience, only their own personal experience, and they don't want you to hurt. So they will take your side and they will villainize your ex. If they villainize your ex, then they might also feel justified in talking to mutual friends and saying negative things about your ex and sharing details of the conversation because they don't think it will get back to your ex. But I wish people had listened when I said, be careful who you confide in, because they will overestimate their ability to help, and they might even approach your ex or say things about your ex to other people, and that can really, really hurt your effort and your chances. So I suggest that the friends that you do share this with be friends who are not mutual friends, but are only your friend, so that it doesn't get back to your ex, because it will make it look like, first of all, that you're having a lot of trouble with the breakup, which oftentimes can be unattractive if your ex finds that out. And it can cause your ex to think that you could be easily gotten back, which will prevent them from actually experiencing the breakup. And you want them to have no news from you, from your side, on what you think about the relationship right now. We want them to get in that curiosity stage where they wonder if they could get you back if they wanted you. Doesn't mean that they want you back right now, but we want them to wonder if they actually could get you back if all of a sudden they did. That's kind of the first step to where the roller coaster starts going down and the speed starts building in terms of them wanting to be back together with you. What makes this tip even better is that if your ex does happen to see you in a group of people, maybe by picture or they're out in public and see you, then it's a great thing because first of all, it's not you on a date, which I don't suggest that you do yet. It may be several months, as a matter of fact, before that would be a good idea, because you don't want to look like, first of all, that you're trying to make your ex jealous. That's actually not a good thing because it looks like you're trying. It usually will be seen as fake, or they will think, well, if they can already move on, we must not have had a great thing anyway. Which again, if you're betting on the relationship, you want them to know that you two had a good thing and to have more questions than answers. And if they see you on a date with somebody else, it might just give them the answer and make them start making their own efforts to try to move on. It's one of those things that can blow up in your face. I do have other videos on making your ex jealous where I explain this more, but just know that this is not a tactic I would suggest yet. Later on, when you genuinely feel like you want to move on, if you do go on dates and your ex gets jealous, so be it. But early on, it can cause more harm than good. Being with your friends, however, can give you positive things to anticipate. It will lower the chances that you're going to slip and break and reach out to your ex. And it can help you get better at relationships so that when you and your ex hopefully do get back together, then your skills in relationships are still sharp, and it will help you get past some of that feeling of rejection, that feeling of hurt, and that someone does not love you like you thought they did, and someone doesn't return your love. You will feel love from other people, so you won't feel as empty, which means when you do have that interaction with your ex, when they're around you, it will help you because your ex can sense some of that. There's a lot of things that go on that we don't necessarily have the words for, but that we can sense and we can feel, and it will help the way that you interact, the way that you speak, the way that you hold yourself, if you feel loved, even in the presence of someone who has hurt you and taken their love from you. So people often ask about, what do I do when I'm face to face with my ex? If you do some of the things that I've mentioned, then you will do so many of the right things naturally because you will feel loved, which people who feel loved and they don't feel like they have to impress someone else or that they have to play a role or put on a mask, those people are very attractive. And so, though it may sound a little bit simple and cliche, surrounding yourself with people who love you can actually make you more attractive, help you with the pain, and give you positive things to anticipate, which that little package right there can make you feel pretty attractive, at least more so than you do at the moment, since your ex has broken up with you and you feel like you've been tossed aside and rejected. So go through your phone and your contacts, start reaching out to people, especially if they are friends with just you and they're not a mutual friend, and with your family, and start planning things. Maybe it's bowling, maybe it's hitting golf balls at the driving range, maybe it's having a drink, going on a walk, going rock climbing, walking your dogs together, having movie night, game night, having a meal together. Start planning as much as you can. Start having 3 or 4 nights a week if possible, because most people have enough contacts in their phone that they can make that work. And if you start doing that with one person once a month, with all the contacts you have in your phone, then you can probably end up doing 3 or 4 nights a week or 3 or 4 days a week where you are not alone and you're having a good time with someone and you're feeling acceptance, love, companionship, friendship with another person, which is so important. People are often surprised how when you change your focus that you hear from your ex. It's funny how that works. I wish I could explain it fully as to why it happens and how that works, but just know I've seen it a lot, enough to expect it and to not be surprised when I hear about it. So there you have it, 3 tips on getting your ex back. Take a quick second and click the subscribe button below so that you can be notified when I have more videos that are like this. If this video has been helpful to you, you can leave me a tip with the link in the description below, and you can also get my emergency breakup kit, which is the culmination of my 20 years in the relationship coaching service. Remember those other videos I suggested you watch that will be linked to in the description below. This has been Coach Lee, and as always, thank you for watching.